Good afternoon and welcome. Been a crazy day here. Let me make sure all my settings are working. It does say I'm live. So welcome to Pat's Stamping Place, and you have landed at Pat Mayer's studio. And I did something different with my settings today, and it didn't actually come on when I said it was going to. So now it seems to be working. So let me know if you are here, and if this is your first time to visit, make sure you hit the little bell to subscribe if you like it, and hit the like button too. So I don't know what's going on in your neck of the woods, but we had snow on the ground this morning in Northeast Ohio. Not a lot, it's already gone, but we're back kind of in the deep freeze. Not even going to get warm again until next week, and by warm I mean 60. Definitely not. We've had some 70-degree weather already, but that's gone. So it's just the crazy weather. Well, if you were here last week, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hello, Shirley. Welcome. If you were here last week or you caught the replay, let's go down to my desktop here. I decided that I was going to show a kit, and this one is called Heirloom. I always get it wrong. Heirloom Arrangements. I keep wanting to call it Heirloom Expressions, but it's Heirloom Arrangements. And I'm just going to show you pretty much the empty box. And it comes with a lovely stamp set. So this will always be left over. Hello, Rose. Welcome. And with kits, you get a stamping block. Always get that with a kit. You get a Stampin' Spot, and this one was pecan pie. I happen to use my own pecan pie. And then I decided I wanted to make a lot more cards than just the 8 that this comes with. So I pulled in some embellishments, and there are butterflies in this, so I used some of these brushed brass butterflies. I do believe that they are retiring. They've been around for a while. I love them. I think I have enough to last for a while, so I'll still be using those. I also used some embellishments that did not come with the kit, and these are the pecan pie and clear ribboned adhesive back dots. They've got a little coloring type thing in there. It comes with dimensionals. Also came with tear and tape. I ended up using my liquid glue. And this just shows what the sentiments are and a little background and the butterfly in this kit. So my goal was to make 28 cards because I had seen that our CEO, Sarah, made 28 cards. I thought, oh, I can do that without really copying what she did. I ended up coming up with 27 because as I was cleaning up my little mess here today, I had this one piece left that I didn't use. One piece. And then I couldn't find something else to put it in. So it's just a piece. It'll show up someplace else. So I think that was pretty good. And it did take a while. It probably took longer to do this than following the instructions. Let me get them back out here again. Here they are. Then following the instructions to put the kit together the way it's supposed to be put together. But I made it much more cost effective. It's very reasonable anyway. It's $23 for the kit. It is an online exclusive, so you can find it there. And then these were all the different instructions to make 8 cards, and I made 27. So let's see what we've got here today. So no stamping, just this is show and tell day. So I'll get back to that next week. And I'm going to show you the 8 cards first that I came up with. And I left most of mine sentiment free. So I can pull out any one of these cards and either just send it with a sentiment on the inside or writing on the inside, and not worry about whether or not it said thank you or whatever else was on there. So let's get started with that, and I'll just pull these up and show you what I came up with. Let's zoom in a little bit. And I did use some of the, as I said, I used some of the sentiments. So this one goes this way, not this way. I wanted that to come out the side. And there's my linen thread and some butterflies. And all of the envelopes came with something in them. A little bit of a lining or stamping on there. Okay, here's the second one. And this one I also put a thank you on. A butterfly, lots of glue, some gems from that kit, or that little set of elements. Now this one goes this direction, and this was a long piece of vellum. I cut it into 2 pieces and layered that behind, and some butterflies. And I do plan to take pictures of these and put them on the Facebook page. Okay, here's another one. Now this piece of vellum was very long. It took up the whole piece of the card. So I cut that in half also, used one of the circle sentiment pieces with a thank you, and stamped a couple little butterflies on there. Okay, here's one. I just used 2 sentiment circles to add a little bit of an element and add my gems there. And these are 2 pieces of the vellum. So the green looked pretty good with the blue. Okay, here's a little one that's a little different. I took 2 of the rectangle sentiment pieces and put it behind there just to add a little bit more dimension to the card, and then put the gems on there. Now I didn't bring out anything with Wink of Stella, but definitely could add Wink of Stella to some of these elements as well. And that's the envelope with this one. Here's another one that is blue. Now this piece here in the back had something else on the other side of it that I didn't like the way it went with this, so I just turned it over and glued the pretty part, if you want to call it that, pretty part down, and made that part of the card. I did that on a couple of them that it just didn't seem to work with what I came up with. I mean, you could play around with these elements forever. This is another one that was the same way. It looked like a piece of postage, and I just flipped it over, stamped a little bit of that hashtag on there. I guess that's what that is called, and put that there with a few butterflies and some linen thread. Okay, so those are the 8 of the full-size cards that came with the kit. So that's that. Now let's go to the 19 note cards and envelopes. There are 20 in the pack, and as I said, I ended up with that one piece left that just didn't work with anything. Because I could have made myself crazy just putting all of these together. So no sentiment on this one. And for the most part, I didn't stamp anything on the inside either. Most of them I did get something on the envelope. And these with tags had the hole in them, so I put the ribbon through the hole. Thanks, Rose. This was fun to do. As I said, it probably took longer to put these together, doing some mixing and matching and, what looks good with this and what looks good with that. Okay, here's one that you'll see the inside of this one later. When I went through all the pieces last week and showed you, that was a two-piece. So this is the frame to that. And just a little bit of bump up on with the dimensionals and the butterflies. Oh, I know what else I did was I pulled in a blending brush and the pumpkin, or pecan pie, and gave some dimension to that because I thought that was just too much white on white there. And then this is one of the butterflies that was in there. You could probably put a sentiment here going in that direction. But I will say it was a lot of fun. Here's a thank you. Easy peasy. Now here's one that was just that black vintagey thing, and I just put that butterfly over it. I wasn't quite sure on whether I really liked that one or not, but it works okay. And maybe I think when I do these, I'll splatter them. I like splatters a little bit, and splatter them with one of the blending pens. Okay, this was fun. Just add some dimensionals to the back and some gems on there. Let's see, maybe I can zoom in a little bit bigger on these smaller cards. This is just a long tag with 3 butterflies on it, and then I pulled in one of the butterflies. So you can see underneath there's another one there, so that has a little bit of dimension. Again, it was a tag. Thanks, Nancy. Glad you're here. You'll have to go back and look at the first 8 that actually came from the kit, plus the other few that I've done. Okay, here's a simple one with a little piece of vellum behind there, some brush brass butterflies, a little bit of linen thread. Okay, this one actually goes this direction. Added that background there, a little bit of blending with the pecan pie. This one could be colored if you wanted to bring in more product and color those either with colored pencil or maybe even use the blending, the Stampin' Blends. But I just chose to leave it more vintagey looking. And the gems there. Okay, here's another simple one. This was just this piece all by itself. Some of the pecan pie gems and added the thank you. As I said, I did not put sentiments on very many of them actually. Here's just a plain butterfly one with some gems and the background and a little bit of coloring with the blending brush. Okay, here's another one with a tag like that. This, I forget what the green was, Lost Lagoon I think was in here. And it's just simple. Now here is the inside of that black frame that I showed a little bit earlier. Where was that one? Here we go. This one. This was a punch out from that frame. So you had the frame left over, and then this was the inside of it. And more butterflies and linen thread. Okay, this one, more butterflies, 2 little flowers popped up. And I have ordered another kit. So I don't know if I'll make that with just the 8 cards that it comes with to see how that goes, or do something a little bit more like this. Maybe not quite as many, but anyway, I really do like these. Here's another one. It was just a tag. Had the little floral part there. Okay, here's another tag. I stamped, I appreciate your kindness. Added a butterfly there. And some more of the gems. Like I said, this is going to be a short one today, but I already have my idea for next week, so be sure to come back next week. Got a new to me, fun fold to show you. This one is just plain simple. I probably at this point was maybe running out of elements to put on the card. This is like one that I flipped over and just used the white on it in one of the earlier ones that I showed you. Can't find it right now. Just added the butterflies. Probably could have used a little bit of coloring around the edge. 2 more to go. Here's another one that goes this direction, and the butterfly does pop up. And then this element too. So I guess if you figure out what these cost, and I did not do that to figure the cost per card, it's very reasonable, very reasonable. Probably less than the cost of a postage stamp. Here's another one with that green element is separate from the flower, and then that is one of the sentiment pieces. So there were a few sentiment pieces left over. I tried to use as many of them as I could. But this was a lot of fun. If you want to see some of these all laid out, I mean the different elements as I took the kit apart last week, you could look at last week's episode and have at it. But I highly recommend this one. Hope to get them in the mail. That's my crossing my fingers. So anyway, this is only like a 20-minute video today. And that's about all I worked on this week. I don't have anything else to show, so I'm probably going to sign off now. And take care, have a great rest of the week, and hope it's going to warm up wherever you are. Let's go back here to my face. And yeah, this is only about, excuse me, about 20 minutes. So enjoy. You can, oh, you'll have to go back and watch the replay. Yep. And you could, you know, take your time going through it, because I like every one of the cards that I did. And again, I had that one little piece left over that I couldn't go back and make it work on something else. So enjoy, look at it again, order one of those kits if you need to place an order. It's patmayer.stampinup.net. And so I would love to be your demonstrator if you don't have one. So take care, have a great rest of the week. And golly, next week we're going to be in the middle of April already. And this week it's going to get my taxes finished. So that's what I'm going to do the rest of the week. They're started, just not finished. So have a great rest of the week, and Happy April.